Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Do make sure that you are subscribed and also do like the video. Listen, I don't know where my glasses are today, okay? But Umgosi cannot wait for me to find my glasses because Umgosi uyashisa, okay? So we're going to have to find a way to read the story without my glasses. Now, you guys, I need Mrs. J. Mrs. J. Okay. Ngicela ukuthi abazi uMrs. J bahambe bayombiza. Okay. uMrs. J must come sit in the front seats for this story. Okay. Because some of y'all owe Mrs. J an apology because when Mrs. J was trying to tell us, okay, because she did try to tell us about this lady, some of you were like, no, Mrs. J, you cannot do that, okay? You cannot call this woman Wapitori, okay? You can't call this woman Wapitori. And Mrs. J did all sorts of apologies, okay, for telling us something that might have been true, okay? She was over there apologizing, writing long love letters and sending it to this woman. She was there by, the reunion, taking accountability. And this whole time, she might have been right. So please, Mrs. J and Mrs. J fans, take the front seats, okay? Then, we need Pheladi's fans now, okay? Pheladi's fans, like Mrs. J's fans are sitting in the front seats with Mrs. J. Okay, now Pheladi's fans with Pheladi come to the front. But you are not going to sit in the front seat. You are going to sit. You see the front seat sits on the floor right in front because it's kulumanani namhlanje hlalani phansi inganinto. Okay. Remember, you guys, on the Mommy Club, the very, very bad season that we have just had of the Mommy Club, Pheladi was one of the cast members that ended up not going to the reunion, okay? I personally feel that if a cast member does not go to the reunion, they must actually go back and just delete all of the scenes with the cast member, because what is the point of that? Okay, because the reunion is the reward for the viewers watching your bad season, okay, and supporting the show. How do we get rewarded? We are given the reunion show. So if you are not going to respect the viewers and give them the reunion, you don't deserve the season, okay? So listen, producers. Put it in their contract that if they do a reality show that has a reunion show, they must come to the reunion, because we're tired of these people. They don't want to be held accountable for what they did during the season. Okay, now. Remember when Pheladi was telling us about her marriage, okay? Because we need to go back. Before we read this story, you guys, we need to go back a little bit, okay? Because she did try to tell us about her marriage, okay, that had ended. Okay, which is not really something like strange because, guys, marriages, they end, okay? It's usually everybody's fault that is in the marriage. It just doesn't work out sometimes. You can't really say somebody's a bad person because the marriage didn't work out. It's just like, okunye kuyenzeka, okunye akwenzeki, sesiyazi. So when she was trying to tell us about her marriage, she was asked a question. I think she was asked a question because this was a diary session of why or what led to the end of her marriage. And she said, you know what? At some point, I realized that this man is out here only for a good time. Okay? So when she realized that the husband was only there for a good time, she was like, I am out of here. So this was not a husband that was going to be there for her in sickness and in health, okay? With makeup and no makeup, okay, with the mkaba thing and then with the mkaba wakulenga, with the bra and without a bra. It wasn't that kind of a husband, Okay, it wasn't that kind of a husband. It was the husband that was only there when you have a bra on, cover in zako on, the makeup. You understand? She said that he was there for a good time. Okay. And then I did wonder, you guys, and I was like, that is very, very strange because Pheladi looks like a good time. Okay? Pheladi does not look like a girl that is not for a good time, if you know what I mean. So I'm just wondering, what good time did this man want that he looked at Pheladi and he was like, she is not a good time. I'm going to go somewhere else to look for a good time. It just was not making sense, especially because she was saying that her husband or her ex-husband was older. I was like, an older husband looks at Pheladi and thinks that Pheladi is not a good enough time. It ain't making any sense, okay? So we took that information and put it in our gossip storage because we knew that we were going to need it at some point, okay? That and the fact that this woman was on a show called The Mommy Club and not even a single time did we see her mother anybody. She did not even mother a cat, honey. Not a cat, not a dog, not a child, nobody. Okay? It was a mommy club with the mommy that did not do any mammering. Okay? It was like, is she even a mother? Okay, it was all of that. So we took all of this information, we put it in the gossip box because we knew that we were going to need it later on. And later on, you guys, it's today. Okay, today is later on. So go into that gossip box and all of the information that you stored when you were watching the season, take it out because we are going to need it in the comment section when we discuss this story that the Sunday world is giving us on this very, very beautiful Sunday. Okay. So this is what Ngwako Malaji has written on the Sunday world. Okay. He says, ex-husband orders mommy clubs Pheladi to stop telling their child that he is not the father. Okay. The man that was only in the marriage for a good time has had to go and hire a lawyer so that he can stop Pheladi from telling one of her children that he is not the father. And guys, listen, this is a very interesting story because you are not going to believe it. Because, listen, remember, this is supposed to be a bad man that was only there for a good time, remember? Okay, but I will summarize it, okay, a little bit so that you know what's coming in the article. And then I will go through the article because the article is juicy, okay? But for you to understand what's coming in the article, let me summarize it for you a little bit. So, allegedly, Pheladi and her ex-husband, they date, okay? They have a good time. Okay, things happen like they normally happen in the relationships. They break up temporarily. Okay, nothing strange there. Okay, then they get back together because they still, okay, I guess loved each other. Okay, when they get back together, you know, the lady is like, Daddy, I'm pregnant. Okay, I say daddy because apparently he's as old as her daddy. Okay, or older. Okay. She said it. She said it herself. Okay. And then the lady's like, Daddy, I'm pregnant. Okay. Daddy is happy. And, you know, they continue with their life. He moves on to propose and they get married. Okay. And they are supposed to live happily ever after. Only they did not know that one day Dan was going to be sitting here talking about their marriage that had already ended. Okay, if only we could see into the future, okay? All them jolos that we wouldn't get into if we just saw the future, okay? Unfortunately, we can't, okay? So all of us have just past relationships that we are like, God, why didn't you give me enough signs, okay? Why? Why did I do that, okay? So all of us have that, okay? So they move ahead and they get married. She gives birth to, you know, a beautiful baby. And then people start talking. Okay, people start talking, and the talk is that this child is not of the husband. Okay, and the husband is hearing the talks. Okay, and then people even name somebody that had mysteriously passed away as the father of the child. Okay. So the husband decided he's going to get a DNA, okay, just to be sure, because they did have that break between the two of them. But he had asked Pheladi, because, listen, is this my baby? And Pheladi said, yes. And then Pheladi was like, listen, when we were on a break, I was still in love with you, so I didn't even do the deed with nobody. So there's no way that I would be pregnant with somebody else, because I did not did with nobody else. The deed I did with you when we did get back together. That's what she said. Okay. Then you guys, they move on with that. But the husband is like, maybe I should do the DNA. But during that whole process, he's bonding with the child. So at some point, he just decides, you know what? I've bonded with this child. I love the mother. Why does it matter if biologically she's mine or not? Okay, let's just move on with our life. You know the happily ever after they talk about in church. Okay, it happily ever after when you're getting married. The man was like, listen, we said happily ever after. Can we just go and be happy? Okay. So the man goes on to raise a child until they break up. And then Pheladi starts telling the child that the man is not the father. I'm like, how? Utatako within the relationship, Yes. Basic short to go to Pheladi hamba yobiza Nimrod as at you are not the father. So when the child is visiting Pheladi is telling the child that, listen, that is not your father. Your father is there by the graveside. But the child goes back to the father in distress now, saying, my mother said that my father is there by the graveside. She even took me to the grave, because another man is my father. So this man, you guys, because I want you to understand how right Mrs. J was, okay? Because we do owe Mrs. J an apology, okay? This man that is not a good man, that was only in the marriage for a good time, okay? When he hears that Pheladi has told a child this information, he goes and hires a lawyer, okay, and says, listen, I need to stop this woman from traumatizing this child, because whether this child is mine or not, she is not old enough to be able to take this information. Okay, even if I do the DNA in the future and I find out that she's not mine, but that information should not be shared with this child in the way that it is being shared. This is a man that might not be a father to this child. This is a man that is not a good man. This is a man that was only there for a good time, is protecting the child that might not be his own, and saying, stop telling the child that I might not be his father, because she is too, I don't know if it's a she or he, the child is too young to know if, to handle that information. You guys get it? Okay. Was that man there for a good time? If you think about it, who was there for a good time? Okay. Hey, listen, how do you feel, Mrs. J, there in the front seats? Okay. Are you hearing the word that I'm trying to preach this morning? You understand? Do you guys realize how right Mrs. J was? You even traumatized that woman, Natsuya Bleach, because you were trying to defend somebody that she might have been right about. Lawyers later asked that she stops telling the minor someone else fathered the child. Like, listen, you guys, you are the man. How are you going to tell your minor child that information without discussing it with the one that is acting as a father, the one that was there for a good time? Is she a good mother? I don't like saying people are not good mothers, but so Popular Mommy Club Season 3 cast member Pheladi Madungandaba has been accused by her ex-husband of seemingly duping him into entering into a shotgun marriage with her after she lied to him about the paternity of a child. So the man is saying she tricked him. Okay. And still he is trying to protect the child. Okay. Madungandaba stunned the viewers of the show when she revealed that she walked out of a matrimony empty-handed after she divorced her husband, a Pretoria businessman, in March 2022, whom she wedded in 2016. And when she shared that information, you guys, that listen, when I divorced my husband, I walked out with nothing. It's almost like she wanted us to think she was a hero or something, okay? But you know, our brains were going, why would you walk out of a marriage with nothing, honey? What was happening? What contracts did you sign? Okay, like, you understand what I'm saying, okay? Because Pheladi doesn't look like the kind of woman that walks away with nothing from marriages, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Can you hear me? Do you understand the scripture that I've just opened? You understand? Okay. After the divorce, Madungandaba told one of the children who visited her at her new home that the businessman who cannot be named to protect the identity of a child was not her father. She then allegedly took the child to the cemetery and showed the kid the grave and claimed that that was the kid's biological father who was shot and killed by a bad man. Listen, you guys. Even the kids in my family, where family members like genuinely are related to them, okay, we are very, very sensitive about, just taking the kids to the gravesite, honey, okay, because you don't want to be traumatizing the kids, okay. This woman just took the kid to some man's grave and said, this is your father, without even preparing the child for the whole. What the hell? Do you understand how right Mrs. J was? We further confirm that you formally married our client, or you were formally married to our client, which marriage was dissolved by an order of court in March 24th, 2022, reads the letter. Our instructions are to convey the following to you, the minor child, with identity number. Of course, they're not going to show us the identity number, okay? And whereas the marriage between yourself and our client was contracted on December 22, 2016. At the time that the marriage was contracted, you were pregnant with the aforesaid minor child. Our client instructs us that on Monday, November 14, 2022, after visitation to yourself, name withheld, informed our client that she had been to visit So the child informed the client that she had been to visit a grave of her other dad who was asked and killed by a bad man. The lawyer further stated that Madungandaba's ex-husband was deeply perturbed, guys, because the same allegations that he was not the biological father of the said child were repeatedly made in the past by her acquaintances. Because one thing about your friends, they know your ways, okay? They do know your ways, okay? The aforesaid allegations imply that you had willfully misled our client into believing that he is the biological father of a child. Similarly, you had, by the aforesaid misrepresentation, coerced our client into entering into a marriage relationship with you. Given the age and the level of maturity of a child, it is extremely emotionally distressing for her to visit the grave and be told that she has another father other than our client. And our client would request that you immediately cease your communication and conduct in this regard, reads the letter. The lawyers also warned Madungandaba that it was not in the interest of a child to be provided with such conflicting information regarding her paternity, which caused uncertainty and insecurity at a very sensitive age. In view of the aforegoing, our client requires you to immediately desist from such conduct and provide a written undertaking that you will not discuss the paternity with. See, now the article is closing. Hey. Oh, okay. Our client, okay, let me start here. The lawyer also stated that the businessman may demand paternity tests at a later stage. Our client's rights in respect of the paternity dispute and appropriate test to determine the same are hereby reserved in Toto. Reads the letter. What is in Toto? In Toto? Or is it a legal term? I don't know. But the source who is close to the ex couple indicated that Matungandaba's husband pushed for a paternity test but abandoned the idea because of the bond that he has with the child. The Deep Throat said that Matungandaba's husband obtained information from their associates that the social media influencer claimed that certain Vusumuzi Shaba was the biological father of her child. This, said the mall, worried him because when they recalled their love after the brief breakup, Matungandaba was pregnant. At the time, she told him that she expected a child. The expected child was the sum of their biological barcodes. Okay. She also told him that during their breakup, she had not engaged in any horizontal bedroom gymnastics with anyone else. Guys, do you guys engage in any bedroom gymnastics? Okay. You see, she said, listen, I was waiting for you. Yes, we had broken up, but I waited for you, my husband. So I did not engage with anybody. So I guess this child was just like from nothing. Because he loved her to bits, he accepted her explanation and proceeded to tie the knot with her and make sure that the child was not born out of wedlock. But after their breakup, Pheladi informed her friends that Shaba was the father of the child and that she had tricked her, the husband, into believing that he was the father. Listen, you guys, I need Mrs. J to stand up, okay? I need Mrs. J to stand up and take a bow or something, okay? We need a crown or something and we need to put it on Mrs. J because listen, you guys, listen. Let me read this part for you again, okay? Let me read it for you because you need to understand how right my Mrs. J might have been about this woman, okay? She said, because he, the husband, the one that is not a good husband, the one that was only there for a good time, that one, okay, that husband, because he loved her to bits, okay, this is just somebody that is like, a source. He accepted her explanation and proceeded to tie the knot with her to make sure that the child was not born out of wedlock. But after the breakup, Pheladi informed her friends that Shaba, the dead man, was the father of the child and that she had tricked her husband into believing that he was the father. The source said that the businessman told them he was initially emotional and felt that Pheladi duped him into marrying her. Okay, because listen, you guys, when I'm expecting your baby, okay, you might not want to marry me when it's just me, but when I'm expecting your baby, you might just want to be in for a good time. But I don't know anybody that wants to be in for a good time when they marry you pregnant, because there is no good time after pregnancy. Okay, we all know that. Okay. The tipster said that the ex-husband demanded the test in June 2022, but later changed his mind because he had bonded with the child. He said after extensive reflection, he made peace with Pheladi's allegations and concluded that he is the child's father. He was like, listen, I'm this child's father. Let's just end it here. Okay. We will solve it in heaven. For now, I am the child's father. Okay. He said after... Okay. No. Let me read this one. Okay. The mole further said that opined that the child would be badly affected by the paternity test. Also, said the source, the test, if they come back negative, will have an unintended repercussions on their other children as well. Okay. Madungandaba could not be reached for her comment at the time of going to print. Okay. Too much is going on, you guys. Too much is going on. But all I'm saying is that it is time to give Mrs. J her apology, because she did try to tell us, okay? And we were on her behind about it. Oh, Mrs. J, how can you call a woman that? Oh. The man that was only there for a good time is raising a child that might not be his own, okay, his biological child. And he's actually saying, listen, even if the child is not mine, but that is not a way to deliver the information to the child that is biologically yours, mother. What kind of a mother is she? Anyway, you guys, that's the story from the Sunday world, honey. Don't say Tando said this, because I said nothing, okay? I was just reading an article from the Sunday world, okay? I'm very tired from the event I attended yesterday. I could have been sleeping, but the Sunday world notification just woke me up, okay? It's the Sunday world. It's not me. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure that you like it before you're going to share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Cool.